First thing we need to do when we go to rebuild the transmission or re-put it back together is to take your fingers, put them down on the bearings, and roll the races around on these two and see if they work okay. Now the transmission bearings, what I will tell you from what I know is that they run a little bit rough. I don't know why, they just do. These 1994 through 2001 DIOs have 3 thrust washers. They all go in different places. First thing we do is after you check everything is make sure that that bolt is tight, or nut. It goes to the other side and holds the brake in place. Then we grab this first thrust washer right here. I'm going to have to turn my light off here. This is a stainless steel washer. It goes right here. Okay? Second thing we have to do is take this gear, and you can see that this one comes off right here. When you buy, you'll see what I'm saying here in a minute. When you buy a racing ratio gears, you will get this replaced and you'll get this replaced, and usually the teeth are different on this and the teeth are different on this. Alright, I'll show you why. Now we take this and we put it down into the case, just like that. Alright? The second thing that we put in is I forget if it's a primary or secondary driven gear. Your wheel attaches right here. This goes through this bearing right there. And all you have to do is drop it in. Preferably it's kind of clean. Come on. I had this thing perfectly up in place, except my wife probably fucked with it. And that's all fucked up. Who knows? This has got to go all the way down in, like that. Okay, and you can see that the teeth right here from the larger gear are below this. Okay? Now we have one thrust washer that we've put in. These two go right where I'll show you here. This is magnetic, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. This one goes right here. And this fiber one goes right here. Now, if you put the face here together, and if you look at it, you can see why when I go to drop this gear, racing gear, into that bearing, it's going to roll against that bottom gear. So that bottom gear has got to have so many teeth, and this has got to have so many teeth. They have to match. That's why you get this spindle right here, and you get this bottom gear right here in the package. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brake clean right here and some toweling, and I'm going to get this really, really clean around here. Okay? When you get it clean, you want to make sure that all these little passages up in here are open. What they are is they go with this little spot in the top as an air breather. And then of course you're going to need to have your oil breather right here. And a good thing to do with all of these rubber things is to take and blow some air through them, something through them to make sure they're not clogged. what can happen is when your bike is sitting over the winter or spring or wherever you're hiding it, you can get bugs in there and they can make a little nest. Well, if they block the vacuum and you have a vacuum fed carburetor or something with a crankcase, it's got to be, that has to have an air breather, and that breather is plugged, you're going to blow something. Alright, so I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to clean all this face up, and then we'll put this on. This is the inlet right here. And as my good friend told me, I kind of looked at this and I thought, damn it. Oil, 0.9 liter. I just thought it was an ounce. It's about 3 ounces. This is an AF16E. People have asked me, what's the difference between AF16 and AF18? I don't know. I've never seen an 18. I believe it's only a designation that shows that this is made for the American market, this engine, and the AF18 is for the European or the Japanese market. That's my guess, but I can't prove it. Alright, I'm going to clean this up, clean that up, then we'll put this together. I won't put any oil in this until I go to put it in the bike, because you can lean your engine this way or twist it and you'll leak oil. I've had many of these motors that I've bought from eBay. They'll come in the box and they've got oil seeping out the bottom, just a little bit, but the guy had stripped the motor down, cleaned it up, didn't think to drain the oil. So if you don't need the oil in there, don't put it in there yet. And we continue.